The White House has essentially found itself in a situation where any decision leads to losses. Continuing the tariff war threatens the final collapse of the economy, while ending it would be an open admission of defeat. And it is precisely this scenario that Washington is moving toward. Preparations for lifting tariffs are underway, and in the coming months, the U.S. will be forced to publicly announce a revision of its entire trade strategy. The outcome is clear. The tariff war ended not in victory but in capitulation, with America emerging weakened with a destroyed reputation, lost jobs, and a forfeited role as global leader. However, the consequences turn out to be deeper than they appear at first glance. Many experts warn that the failure of the tariff war could trigger avalanche-like processes within the American system. Already today, public debt has reached historic highs. The combination of high inflation and declining consumer purchasing power is creating a dangerous mix that threatens social stability. Millions of Americans are forced to cut back on food and housing, which stands in stark contrast to images of massive military spending and Washington's attempts to intervene in every global conflict. The United States finds itself in a position where foreign policy consumes resources while the domestic economy collapses under the weight of its own mistakes. And the most alarming thing for the White House is that allies see this weakness and are beginning to act according to the new realities. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates are discussing oil settlements in yuan. Africa is increasingly welcoming Chinese investments, and Latin America is forming new trade blocs without American participation. For the global economy, this is a turning point. Where once the American market was considered the main center of profit, more countries are ready to build a parallel system in which Washington plays only a secondary role. And it is the tariff war, conceived as a tool of demonstrating strength, that became the catalyst for these processes. American political scientists admit that the world is entering an era in which the U.S. can no longer unilaterally dictate the rules. This means the White House faces a choice. Either acknowledge the new realities and attempt to integrate into the emerging multipolar order, or continue clinging to its lost status, risking the final loss of what influence remains. But whichever option is chosen, one thing is clear. The tariff war, instead of becoming a symbol of American power, has gone down in history as its greatest geopolitical failure.